Welcome back to another episode of the InnerChild Podcast, where we have authentic conversations about growth, childhood, and passions. I'm JB. That's my brother, my co-host, OD. Today, we have a very special guest, someone who I've known for over a decade now. It's kind of crazy to say. From us gracing the halls at Paxton High School, to us matriculating through college, to now her being in her, adult life world in Houston, Texas. Let's give it up. Let's clap it up for the very vibrant, radiant Ashia Hightower. Ashia, appreciate you coming on the show. This is something that we talked about for a minute now. So it's kind of cool to see, as we both gotten older, we've matriculated through our lives over the course of the last 10 years, let's just say. And, to see how we've grown, within that time period. So it's just a really cool full circle moment for me to have you on the show as a guest, as someone I've known, and just looking forward to have a good conversation with you today.
No, same. I appreciate both of y'all for having me here. And it is super to see the growth, not just in myself, but in you, literally from 10 years ago to right now is so incredible. So thank you for having me, both of you, once again. So I'm excited.
For sure.
In our show, we always do something, right? Where we invite our guests over and then we tell them to put their best fit on, right? Because we call this segment Drip Check, all right? And Drip Check, it's real simple. You just tell me about your fit. Tell me what you got on today, what the idea was behind the outfit, and
Little inspiration.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I wouldn't say this is my best fit ever. Mind you, I came from Houston. I had a little carry-on suitcase, so I can only bring so much.
Okay.
But I thrifted this shirt. It is the subway lines, I believe, of New York. I thrifted it in Houston, Texas. I have some jorts, and then I have my cement 4s on with some high-cut socks. And, of course, my watch and some random jewelry that I have from my grandma. So, yeah.
Sentimental value. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Good drip. So I want to get right into it, right? Like I've said on the opening intro, we've known each other for quite some time. So, for our viewers out there, I want you to take it back to the beginning, growing up in Jacksonville, Florida, 904 Duval County, break down, share what that was like, and just like your early beginnings.
Yeah. Growing up in Jacksonville, it's hard for me to compare it to anything else because it's the only life I've ever lived. I went to really good schools in Jacksonville. I'm really grateful to my mom for putting me in the schools that I was placed in.
Good. So talk about like some things, like some core values that your mom and stepdad as well, like instilled in you while you were young.
Absolutely. So growing up, it was just me, my sister, my mom, and my brother. I had a stepdad for a little bit, but primarily it was just my siblings and my mom. Because of that, we are super, super close. So I'm super close to my family, and I grew up like my mom is my best friend. My sister is my second mom. My brother is our whole family's baby. And so that is the main core value that I carry with me today, is that family is so, so, so incredibly important. And though I grew up to move so far away from home with not knowing or having any family around me, I still call them every single day. I still talk to my sister on a daily. I'm still in New York with my sister on a birthday trip. I just saw her a few months ago. Every single thing that I do in Houston, I'm not lonely, even though physically I am. I'm not lonely because I have my family around, whether it's a quick FaceTime, whether it's a quick phone call. My siblings have kids now. I have several nieces and nephews at this point. I talk to them almost every single day. That is the biggest core value that I was raised up on, is that family is forever and family is so incredibly important.
For sure. And you touched on your sister Jasmine kind of being like a second mom to you. So could you share, was it always like you bought into the fact that she was like your older sister but second mom, or did you give her a lot of pushback, resentment? And just explain what that was like growing up.
Absolutely. So I love my sister to death. Growing up with my sister is 6 years older than me. So with her, with that perspective of having those 6-year age gap and having those experiences before me, she used to tell me things. I'd be like, girl, what are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know, you don't know me. You don't know what's going on in my life. How can you tell me what I'm about to go through if I make this decision? She was always right. But I had to go through those experiences and learn them on my own rather than taking her advice. Because had I not, me listening to your advice and not learning, I might do the same thing in the future because I haven't learned that lesson yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to repeat those patterns unless I truly like have that hit me. So I had a little bit of pushback against her, but it's never harbored resentment. I love my sister. I know that she's my second mom. I'm able to recognize that she is my second mom to this day because we have that kind of relationship.
Yeah, I think that's something that's kind of crucial, right? Like especially when you have siblings who are 5+ years apart, and even parents, right? Sometimes it's one of those things to where as much as somebody could tell you something, you're gonna want to do something on your own. You're gonna want to do it your way, how you see fit. And sometimes you're gonna, get unfortunate results because of that. But at the end of the day, like there's always a certain like level of knowledge and wisdom that come from people who are older because they've been there, they experienced certain things. So I completely get it.
Yeah, and on that same note, sometimes you have to go through those experiences to learn exactly what they were trying to tell you the first time. But on the flip side of that, sometimes you learn that they weren't right. So growing up my whole life, my mom never let me cut my hair. I had long, beautiful hair. She never let me cut it because she said, your hair is so beautiful, you should never cut it kind of thing. As soon as I went to college, I cut my hair clean off. Clean off to the bone.
Yeah.
No hair. But I realized through that experience that I love my hair short. Everybody was like, oh, you're going to hate it. You're not going to like it when you cut your hair short. I loved it. It felt good in the summertime. I'm from Florida. It's hot. Not having the hair on the back of your neck, that was an experience where like, sure, they told me, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. I did it anyways. And I could have learned like, hey, maybe I didn't want to do that. But instead I learned that, yes, I did. I wanted to do that. So I think there's two sides to that coin. You can learn exactly what they were trying to teach you, or you can learn the opposite of it. Maybe they weren't right. And that's okay.
Yeah. So I do want to ask you, because I know you're mentioning your sister is your second mom and obviously your mother, who is the first mom, clearly, right? You did briefly mention like your stepdad being around. Didn't really hear you talk about biologically your father, right? You don't have to get into what happened there, but I guess what's that family dynamic like? Obviously with having the women is like the force fields in the house, and I guess not so much of a male father figure influence that was around for an extended period of time. Like what's been that experience?
So I didn't grow up with that kind of father aspect in my life, but I do absolutely have one now. My stepdad now is an incredible man.
Okay.
But growing up, I didn't really feel any kind of difference because my mom played both roles. She did everything for us. My mom is extremely driven. My mom is extremely hardworking. She's incredibly powerful, and she's not like me in the sense that I am incredibly not intelligent. I am intelligent. I'm incredibly emotional is what I'm trying to say. My mom is not emotional at the same time. So she was able to play both roles for me. So I didn't feel like a deficit or like I'm lacking in having a father figure. The only time I noticed it is if I went to a friend's house and they had one. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, I guess. Like, hello, sir. But now I do have my stepdad now, and he's incredible. He's shown me what a marriage should look like. He's shown me what love should look like. That's something I didn't grow up with. So I'm super thankful that I have it now. And that probably did interfere with like how I was seeking love growing up, or like not growing up, but rather in college. But now I see and understand it for what it is. And I'm able to be appreciative of what I do have.
That's solid.
Kind of going on, sticking on a similar realm of like the family dynamic, right? And more so like towards identity, right? This is something that I've actually like don't think I've ever asked you, but your experience growing up, right? Because you are of you're mixed, you're biracial, right? So I just want you to talk about like, did you ever have like a identity like crisis at ever any point, growing up, or did you ever feel a certain way, you felt different, this, that, and the third, because of that, and just whatever. Just wanted to.
No, you're okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I have, and that's because I have several siblings. I was raised with my sister and my little brother, but I have several more, and we all look different,
for sure.
Every single one of us. And I do have one sister who kind of is like my same skin tone, but regardless, we were all loved equally. We were all treated the same. And then when I went to school and everything, everybody is their own person. Everybody looks different. I didn't go to like an all this school and all that school. Like, it just is what it was, and I never really paid it much attention, honestly.
That's good. That's good. And so just going back to one more thing, like, growing up in Jax, like, how would you say like the culture, of the city kind of helped shaped, who you were as a person, whether it was like a certain toughness about you, was there a certain mentality, right? Like, what was that like growing up?
I would say a certain toughness. I don't think a lot of people see me and is like, oh yeah, that girl's tough, probably because I am emotional and I talk the way that I do. I'm very high pitched and happy.
Yeah.
But regardless, growing up in Jacksonville, it's such a big city that you can get pulled into any direction, whether that's good or bad. And I did have some people around me that maybe weren't the best influences, and my mom always called it out. But regardless, I think that through all of those situations and all the people that I met and everything that I went through, I did go through some hard things that had I not put myself in certain situations, maybe I wouldn't have gone through. But from those experiences, I learned a lot about myself and a lot about what I am capable of doing. So that's where Jacksonville
For sure.
comes in.
For sure. And you've always been like a very active individual, right? Whether it was cheer, whether it was like flag football, you name it,
Flag
right?
football.
Yeah, she's like that. She's like that. Yeah,
She
Nah, she's like that. Yeah, I told her about the league that I was in, the game that you played in.
Yeah, so I pulled my hamstring.
Oh no.
I pulled my hamstring at
first play.
Right.
First play?
Not first play, but halfway. Halfway overextended,
right,
trying to dive for something. Yeah, I definitely did not.
But nah, so the reason I brought that up is because I feel like, kind of what you do as far as experiences, like when you're younger, they kind of have some sort of like replay, effect down the line. So like, what was it like, growing up, being involved like in different activities, and did your mom just throw you in something and you like tried it out, you liked it? Like, how was that of you figuring out what you wanted to do when you were younger?
So I started flag football when I was like 6 or 7 years old, and I don't know if I think my cousin was doing it, and my mom was just like, okay, let's just put her here and see. It was a co-ed league, but it was only boys, and I was the only girl.
Yeah.
And she was just like, okay, go with your cousin and go play football.
Yeah.
And so I started playing football at the age of 6. I loved it. I fell in love with the sport. It gave me a lot of discipline because every single day you're going to practice. Saturdays you're having games. And then I carried that into middle school, and I was just trying anything. I'm also that kind of person where like try anything once, kind of figure out what you like. I'm very exploratory, and I just like doing things. So in 6th grade, I tried out for volleyball. I got cut. But I did flag football in middle school. I did cheerleading. I did weightlifting.
I forgot you did weightlifting.
Yeah, but I think my mom, the only thing that my mom put me in that I didn't sign up for was flag football, but I ended up loving that one the most. But everything else is just me, like, just do it, just literally.
Yeah, wow. I mean, like, obviously I haven't known you for long. Like, I follow you on Instagram for, a few years now. I know, obviously, you've been knowing JB. I never knew these things. Like, I never saw these things coming on, off of Instagram or anything. Like, I see your content and stuff like that, which is great. But I never caught these vibes.
But I mean, you wouldn't expect. I forgot about the weightlifting. Like, I forgot about the weightlifting, bro.
Yeah, I never caught these vibes. It's crazy.
I just do anything. But I'm glad I had all those experience because, like, me doing high school weightlifting, I lift weights now. Like,
yeah,
I could do a clean and jerk in the gym, and everybody's looking at me like, "What is she doing?" Like,
what's your deadlift?
Oh no.
But all right, so that's hilarious. So all right, so we go from growing up in Jacksonville, right, and then ultimately you matriculate, give or take an hour 30 minutes at the most to Gainesville, right, to go to college. So just share how was your experience like, your first couple years in undergrad, and like just key lessons you learned throughout your duration in Gainesville at University of Florida, and then just also just your overall experience and things you got yourself into.
I had a lot of fun in college. I went in 2018, and immediately when I got there, I had friends that I was coming in with from an old job. I worked in JCPenney in high school, if you remember that. And one of my friends, one of my coworkers, I actually convinced her to go to UF with me. And so we went to UF together, and she had a couple other friends from Jacksonville that were going as well. So going to college, I had a group of 3 girls that we're already best friends when we got there.
Yeah.
First couple years, everything was good. It was just the four of us hanging out. We had a couple more friends join us, but girls are girls and we lose some along the way.
For sure.
And then I joined my sorority and made a whole bunch of amazing, incredible women.
Mm-hmm.
And then from that point, 2019, fall 19, I had the time of my life. I mean, going everywhere, doing everything. Tallahassee, Orlando, Miami, just going places because, like, you're in college and you're young and you can do those things.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about the next thing. Like, you don't have to worry about kids and stuff. Like, you can just live your life. So that was pretty much my 4 years, just experiencing life, meeting new friends, living life.
Yeah. I want to get into the emotional aspect of it because you did mention earlier in the show that, like, your mom wasn't letting you cut your hair, and as soon as you got to college, smack dab, you just let all that stuff go, right? So it seems to me, right, and I'm only guessing this because I know my college years have been very experimental. I'm sure JB had to jump out of his shell and experiment as well. Like, what was that experience like for you? Just what was the emotional experience like for you? Just trying things that you've never tried before, or finally stepping into your own and not being underneath the supervision of mom or, second mom.
Definitely up and down. I would say the first year was really, really good. I was on a high. I was living my life because I was making those decisions. And then the second, third, and a little bit of the fourth year, I started to feel some of the things that my mom told me that I didn't listen to, in regards to dating, in regards to being around certain people, in regards to just not being who I know that I can be, because I was making some decisions that maybe weren't the best. And honestly, by the third year of college, I was ready to leave. Like, I didn't want to be there anymore. I was really, I'm an emotional person though.
Yeah.
I was really like drama. I was really crybaby about everything. I felt like everybody was, it was just hard. It was hard for a little minute, but I got the opportunity to move to Houston, and then my life really changed.
Okay. How long you been in Houston now?
3 years.
Okay.
Before we get to Houston, because I definitely want to touch on that. Like, just, I mean, you mentioned, you joining sorority. Shout out to all the AKs out there. What kind of was like the best experience about meeting like all your line sisters and just kind of like bonding over the course of what, 2.5 years? While y'all were all on campus, like how was that? And just how did that kind of translate to, post undergrad life?
So I joined my organization super young. I was a sophomore. So some of the people that were on my line, they were older. So really we only had that first year to really bond.
Yeah.
Because they were graduating and they were going to be gone. So that first year we did any and everything. We were going everywhere. Like I said, Tallahassee, Orlando, Miami. We went to New Orleans for spring break that spring. But just having those experiences, like even like just the car ride to Louisiana, like that's where you're really bonding. Right?
Facts.
Y'all just talking about anything.
Yeah.
We would have sleepovers a lot, like all those memories. I will literally cry because they're such incredible women, and they taught me so much about myself. Because again, I was a sophomore, and some of these women, they're seniors. Like I have so much to learn from them. So they were like. They were rock stars for real.
Yeah, no, I mean, similar experience with me. So I was a sophomore too when I crossed, and I always take, and I've said this numerous times, so you already know this, but I always take value in like guys who were older than me and kind of experienced more life at the time than me, and just kind of been places that I haven't been, experience-wise, of course. And so every time I was with all the guys, it was just always just like, I was the youngest, so it was just like,
they're like, I'm the baby, and they're like, come on, little baby. We're going to have fun. Just
literally
do what I do.
Literally. I mean, and even just seeing like how they operated, how they move was just cool. And like you said, some of the best moments were the most unconventional situations. I don't know if you went to Alabama with us.
Ooh,
for Ennis?
For Ennis, yeah. You weren't there. Where you did?
Yeah, when we went to Pensacola.
Yeah. Okay. So so basically we were in Tallahassee and we needed to go to Montgomery.
Yeah.
And we ended up in like on the way to New Orleans, basically, because one of our line brothers, shout out Ram, couldn't read a GPS right. So we were on the way to New Orleans instead of Montgomery, Alabama. And so we ended up missing, like we were going for a funeral. So we ended up missing the entire funeral.
Oh my God.
We got there like, you know,
right when the burial happened.
The burial had happened. But like, obviously we paid our respects. But, you know, then after that, it was all cool. Like we went to our line brother's house who we were there for. Shout out Ennis. And you know, it was all just jokes, but it's just like moments like that you really can't make up. But even on the way, right? Like, I think we had a guy who was just tall.
Twin was jacked up.
Yeah, too jacked up from the night before. So we had to pull over the side of the road 3 times so he could
throw up.
Yeah. So I completely agree. I completely agree about, you know, those like, you know, those little moments that kind of mean the most when you look back on certain experience. But so, you know, you have your experience at University of Florida. You know, you've had like, you know, the peaks and valleys, ebbs and flows of, you know, all the emotions, the highs and lows. And then all of a sudden you make that big move to not to stay in Florida, not to go, you know, too far away, but you go kind of west or west to Houston. So how was that experience when you moved to Houston?
Yeah, moving to Houston, I think a lot of people think that it's scary when you move so far away from home. When before that, I had only lived an hour and a half away. But my sister, she went to University of Alabama straight out of college. So I always had her to look, something like that. I always had her to look up to. So when I got the opportunity to move to Houston, mind you, I got that from the job that I was already working. I had worked at that same job, my same job since sophomore year of college. So when I graduated, they were like, hey, you want to move to Houston? And all throughout college, I had just been saying, I went to Dallas once in like 2019 or something with my best friend, Ashley. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to live in Texas one day. And so all throughout college, I told everybody, I'm going to live in Texas. I'm going to live in Texas. I had no means. I had no means of living in Texas. I had no plans to get there. I just knew that I wanted to be there. So when I got the opportunity, I was like, I am? You sure about that? Like, you're not lying? Okay, let's go. And so I ended up driving myself and my cat all the way to Houston, Texas. I got an apartment and moved in like 2 days later after signing the lease. And from there, I had no friends, no family. I just started going places. I just started doing things because in my head, I knew that I wasn't going to meet anybody and I was going to continue to feel lonely if I just sat in the house. I had to go places. I had to see things. I had to go by myself. I had to do it afraid. I just had to do it. Otherwise, I would have never met anybody that I know now. And I have tons of beautiful, amazing people that I've met just by going and doing things.
Yeah, I appreciate the fact that you said that because I've been through a similar situation where I moved to Tampa for a year. And, you know, while I was living in Tampa, the opportunity to find community, I think, wasn't there as much as I would have wanted it. And I did struggle like mentally a lot because, you know, you want that community, you want that support system. I'm working 40, 50 hours a week. And then when I get off of work, I'm like home by myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm in a relationship at the time. It's just, but my partner is over here in New York. So it's just, you're going through so much stuff and you just don't have a lot of people to lean on, you know? And what I wanted to ask you was like, you said you started going out, you started making a way for yourself, but did it take you a long time for you to develop that mentality, or was that something that you instantly figured out? Like, no, I gotta plan this. I gotta make this happen. I gotta make this work.
It took about like 3 to 4 months for me to realize like, okay, I'm just sitting here complaining about not knowing anybody, but also not putting myself out there to know anybody. At first I was trying like to find different like communities, like Facebook groups or Meetup. Like the Meetup app so that I could go to different group events. But anytime I went to those, there wasn't really anybody that
stuck out.
It was just
clicked.
I was just, okay, hi, bye. Never talk to you again kind of thing. So after 3-4 months of doing that, and that even took me like a couple months to even start that. At first I was just working, talking to my coworkers and stuff. After I got through that hurdle, I was like, okay, well, I know that the type of person that I want to be friends with, they probably like coffee shops. I like coffee shops. My friend probably likes coffee shops. So I would just go there, sit all alone at a table and look friendly. Like I'm not sitting at the table like, don't approach me. But I'm like, smiling at people as they walk by. Like, but that's also my personality. I've always been that kind of person that's friendly and like fresh face that like seems approachable. So honestly, once I started putting myself out there to go enjoy experiences by myself, as soon as I got there, as soon as I started doing that, people would just come up to me.
Yeah.
But I think it has a lot to do with personality type and just being the type of person that people want to approach. You have to be nice. You have to be kind. You can't be stone cold and be like, oh, why aren't people talking to me?
Right.
That's not how it works. So,
I mean, I think that's a great mentality to have because not everyone's like that. Like for me personally, when I moved to New York, thankfully, like I already knew people that were up here. OD, my roommate, Josh Crum, he became my roommate up here from school. So I already had like a community, but I'm interested from your perspective, right? Like it's one thing to have that mentality of, I'm going to go to these different meetups or go to this lounge or this bar or, wherever to meet people. But did you ever have some sort of like guards or walls up as you're meeting these people because you don't know them? So it's like, I don't want to be, too overly friendly and they end up, not being, who they say they are. Like, did that ever cross your mind when you're, breaking out and starting to meet people?
Honestly, yes. But at the same time, because of who I am, I never let it stop me. I'm the type of person that leads with love first.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people lead with that last, or even like trust. I lead with trust first. I'll give you my trust until you break it. Because of that, I probably have potentially gotten myself into situations that I couldn't have got myself into, but I'm protected by God, so I haven't.
Sure. Covered.
Covered, absolutely. So I'm blessed to say that nothing bad has happened yet.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty good at like assessing people for like what I'm hearing from them. Should I meet somebody who's really good at masking? I hope I'm able to see that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't yet. And I have a really strong core group of friends. But I also love meeting people.
Yeah.
And I don't do anything wild like meet them right now and then go in their car and go X, Y, and Z and go to their house and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
It's nothing like that. But meeting somebody out while I'm sitting at a restaurant, just sitting at the bar and just chatting it up, there's no harm in that. Unless they like try to follow you to your car, but I'm protected.
Covered. For sure.
In multiple ways. It's Texas.
Cover is an insider.
Oh.
It's not like a.
I'm on the outside.
It's not like it's not a bad insider. It's just it's something that we were saying in Brazil, because we went to go see Christ the Redeemer. So like, we keep saying we're covered, and JB out here just saying that.
So okay, now again, you start 3 months in, 4 months in, you start to meet people, right? And my next thing is you've always kind of had a decent social media following, right? Like that's never been an issue for you. But then now you're in this place of Houston's a very popular city where people our age and are moving to at a high, fast, rapid pace. And then you start to build a following content wise, whether it's TikTok or Instagram, whether it's your fashion clearly, or whether it's doing food reviews. Just talk about like the joy that, some of that brings you and just why you decided to kind of like put it out there for public consumption.
Yeah. So because I moved to Houston by myself, I had to do a lot of things alone. And so I built my brand off of enjoying Houston alone, doing these activities by yourself. I've always loved pretty things. I've always done art. I was painting ever since I was a little girl. I did sculpture in high school. I did graphic design in college. Because of those experiences, me making content is like the perfect melting pot, or the perfect meld. Is that
the word? You're on the right track.
Okay, the perfect mix.
It's
the perfect mix of like my love for art with my love for tech. And so it's really just me. I just like filming stuff. I like making pretty content. And I'm going to these places by myself anyway, so I'm way more comfortable and inclined to just record because I don't have to, I'm not considering somebody else's like, oh, I don't want to be in your picture today, or, oh, maybe you shouldn't do that. I'm going by myself. I make all the decisions.
Yeah.
It's up to me.
That's real.
So that's kind of where it built off of. And then now today I'm trying to pivot a little bit. I'm staying in the same kind of making content about going places alone in Houston, but more so of looking into streaming, maybe streaming some
Really?
kind of thing of like, oh, I'm going to this place alone. This is how you do it. Or not how you do it, but like, this is how I would do it. I go to a restaurant. I'm not going to the restaurant to sit at the bar alone. Anybody could. That's too easy. You don't know what you want. But if you go to the restaurant and sit at a table alone, now you're really pushing yourself. That's so uncomfortable. Try to go sit at ask for a table for one. And now you're just sitting there and the waitress is coming to you and it's just you making decisions. It feels super uncomfortable doing that. Whereas at the bar, it's natural. You do that normally. So I think pivoting to streaming, that kind of thing, would allow me to kind of break through in that kind of market. Because it's something I've never done before. Usually I just make reels and videos, take pictures sometimes. So I think that's my next step. I'm excited.
You ever get like creator's block?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I get that.
Absolutely.
I got creator's block right now.
No, but to get out of that, I just look at other people's stuff. Okay. And then the ideas start flowing. Yeah. Because I have ideas, and when I get creator's block, I have a list of ideas already. I just like look at it and I'm like, I don't want to do any of that. But I just start scrolling, go on reels, scroll, find something. I'm like, I think I could recreate that. Not copy it, recreate it to my own style. But I'm in creator's block right now. But it's really because of my job.
Yeah, for sure. With me, when it comes to like shooting content and stuff, a lot of the times when I shot content or when I shoot content, it is by myself, right? I could literally do it in the middle of a gym. I could do it in the middle of the street. I could stop traffic by myself. Like, and people just be sometimes asking me like, yo, bro, like, do you have any issues being confident, or like how do you muster up the courage to do this stuff? Like me, if I'm gonna shoot content, I gotta shoot content. Well, not me, but they're telling me like, yo, if they're gonna shoot content, they gotta shoot it in a corner of the gym or something like that where everything's uninterrupted. And I tell people all the time, you just gotta not care. Like, you know, the aesthetic gotta give. So you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all don't ever feel cringe though, like just shooting any sort of content anywhere? Like y'all never feel like it's kind of cringy?
Nah, and only you go ahead.
No, you go.
So I would say the only reason why I don't feel cringe is because I don't even know if this is still like a big trend right now on TikTok or whatever the case may be. But like, you know, the Miles Moraleses and all those other people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I literally would be walking down Soho and then literally see people put their phones up against the wall and then like pink hair and all dressed up in cosplay, and then like Soho's like the worst place to shoot content because so many people walking and they just be doing it in front of these people. And I'm pretty sure they got money from it. You know what I'm saying? So me seeing stuff like that, I'm like, all right, I'm not that crazy. Yeah. So like I could do that. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair. I think that I give myself the ick sometimes because, not because it's like cringy content, but because I will look at myself, like I'll see myself in a reflection. I'm like, I'm really doing this right now. I'm embarrassed. But then I do it anyway. And that's the point to like what you were saying earlier. Somebody saying like, oh, I have to do it in the corner of the gym. If that's how they have to do it, then do it anyway. Yeah. Because the more that you do it in that corner, you're going to slowly get more comfortable doing it in the middle of the gym. You're going to slowly get more comfortable doing it on the side of the street in front of people. That's how it happened for me, at least. I used to only do stuff in parking garages. Only. I remember that phase. Nobody can see me in the parking garage. Now I don't care. But still, I won't let anybody take pictures of me usually. Usually I take all my own content because that's when I get embarrassed, is when other people are like, okay, click, click, click. I'm like, no, I just gotta do it myself. No, never. I'm always the picture taking friend.
Right.
So let me ask you this, right? So when I watch OD's content, for example, whether it's the gym, it's like, all right, Josh, stop being lazy today, go get yours in. Or whether it's, you know, a little fashion piece that he's got going on, it's like expand your mind to different styles of fashion, right? What is something that you want people who view your content, like whether it's a feeling to get out of it, whether it's emotions, or just what do you want people to get out of your content when they watch it?
I want people to feel safe with my content. I want people to know that if I can do it, they can do it. Because I'm a very soft person. And if they're soft, they can do it too. Yeah. I really just want to make people feel safe. And like, I want to provide a home for people like me who maybe are emotional or scared or have high anxiety, because I have all of those things. I'm probably one of the most anxious persons I've ever met. But I do it anyway. So I want people to feel safe doing that and being their true selves.
That's real.
Yeah. So, I mean, you just mentioned it, right? You know, you feel like you're soft person, very emotional, high anxiety, you get scared at times. How do you deal with that? Like on a day-to-day basis, or when does it show up the most?
How do I deal with it? Well, for one, every day I take fluoxetine
Take what?
and anxiety
Oh,
medicine.
okay.
She love that.
It helps me. I do love that, actually.
Okay.
It helps.
All right.
Well, it helps me. And then outside of that, I journal a lot. I take a ton of notes, whether that's on my notes app on my phone or written. I prefer written, but if I only have my phone, I take notes. But yeah, I got to do a bunch of stuff. I have a little stress ball that's got spikes on it that I have to squeeze sometimes. That's about it.
Yeah, not trying to get into your business, but do you know why you've, I guess, developed these styles of emotion, or do you know like what's your triggers or anything?
Honestly, I'm not 100% sure. I like to say that I was born with it. I was born to be this way, kind of thing. But I also think I get a little bit of it from my grandma.
Okay.
I'm just like my grandma, and my mom is the complete opposite. So even growing up, like I was often treated like my emotions were too much, or that I'm crying too much, or like I shouldn't be crying at all, kind of thing. But I'm glad I cry. I'm glad that I'm able to feel my emotions, because I see it as I'm able to feel the emotions that a lot of other people won't allow themselves to. If you can't cry, I will cry for you. If you can't cry, I'm going to cry for you. It's just kind of who I am. So I wouldn't change myself for the world. I know I have anxiety. I know that I'm emotional, and I know I'm a crybaby. I'm proud of all of those things because I can feel my feelings, and a lot of people can't.
I like that.
So, you're in Houston, right? You're going out, you're meeting people, trying new foods, thrifting, you name it, what have you. But something that we talked about before we went live, you're in a flag football league, right? So talk about
I'm tripping.
talk about just you being in the flag football. We did talk about it. The flag football league, and just kind of how it like touches your inner child, right? Like you got put in that when you were young, 6 years old, and then now you're playing it again in your 20s. Just share like how that feeling is.
Yeah, I love flag football. It is like the little girl in me. Every time I go to the field is like, okay, we get another game today. We're like, ah. It's almost overwhelming at times. But as soon as I only get overwhelmed before the game starts, that's when those butterflies comes. That's when I'm having anxiety. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I going to do good today? I hope I'm good today. I hope I don't pull anything, because I'm getting old now.
Yeah.
This guy. But as soon as the game starts, it's like game mode.
Yeah.
It's like I'm locked in at that point. And I get way too serious about flag football, but probably because the years that I played, so serious, in fact, that I have the worst scars in the world over it, because I'm the type of flag football girl who will tackle men.
Oh my!
And I have no shame in my game.
Hey,
I'd rather take you out the game before you take me out the game.
We got to fly her out next season, man. We got to fly out next season, man.
So I think I have skills from my childhood, just playing it growing up. But now it's just fun, because like we get to play and then drink afterwards. We're adults now. Like it's fun. I really love it.
Yeah, I think there's just a very like a beauty in playing a sport that you grew up playing when you were younger, or just having that athlete feeling again now that we're in our phase of just everyday citizens working, and it's something that kind of like still brings people together. Sports bring people together. I know we had a line brother who right after he went back, well, he lives in like Palm Beach, he joined a kickball league, and it wasn't just like a random kickball league. He was traveling for this kickball league, right? And he just took so much, talking about Ram, took so much pride and joy in that. And then here I am in a flag football league, and I'm playing here and there, and it's just like a good feeling to lace up some cleats again, and
yeah, it does feel good.
Run a couple routes to unify. Yeah. Don't get the ball or whatever. So, yeah.
And that's the thing about like moving to a new state. When I moved here, my sister was encouraging me to do a social sport, just to meet people. They were suggesting I play kickball, but then I was looking it up and I saw flag football. So of course I'm going to go with the sport that I know the best. I had never played kickball. I'm going to play flag football. And so now all my teammates, they're incredible. They're so drama though. All the boys, if they lose, they're like throwing the football down, like getting upset. And then little old me, I'm like laughing. Like, it's not that serious. We're not in the NFL. Like, please, it's not that deep. But it's really fun.
Do you still have like a double back handspring, double tuck in you? No?
Whoa, I never had that.
You didn't do any of that?
I was a cheerleader. I wasn't a tumbler.
You didn't do any of that?
No.
Oh, well, my bad. You were a flyer?
Yeah, I was a flyer.
Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha.
Yeah, I couldn't. I tried really hard for years to learn how to tumble, but I had a huge mental block and I would scare myself every single time. I couldn't do it.
Gotcha.
I was in gymnastics and everything.
Gotcha. Hey, I know a little something about cheer. This girl I know was a nice strong base. Isn't that right, Mai? But yeah, you got OD.
So you post any of the stuff on your gram? Like, I know I've seen like fitness. I've seen you being out and about, but I don't know if I've seen much flag football content. Have you posted stuff like that?
Not flag football, and I don't know why that is. I think because I've been doing it for so long that I know those people, and I'm kind of scared to record in front of them because I know them really good now.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, like I'm more comfortable recording content by myself, and because I know them, it's like I don't know.
I get you.
I don't know, but I should.
Yeah. So I mean, with you liking flag football, I'm gonna assume that you watch actual tackle football. Am I correct?
Barely.
Barely.
Go Jaguars.
Go Jags.
Oh man, I just knew you was about to say the Jags.
Of course. What do you mean? That's hometown. You can't say anything else.
Better than the Dolphins.
I'm a
More
Dolphins fan.
Dolphins.
I'm from Miami, so I'm a Dolphins fan. It is what it is. It is what it is.
So going to like the inner child part here as we like get into the last part of the show, right? What do you feel most connected like through your younger self, whether it's, you going out, meeting people, whether it's through like, different like athletics, what have you, like what do you feel most connected to your younger Asia?
Definitely me going places and meeting people. My mom, even my aunt, we did a lot of stuff growing up. My aunt used to wake us up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and take us to Disney. We just used to do things. We would go everywhere. So now living in Houston and combined with my personality of I just love people. I'm a people-loving person. I think that's truly my mission is in this world is to be kind and give love to other people. So anytime that I'm able to be around people and interact and connect with new people that I don't know and maybe make their load a little bit lighter after I've met them, then I feel the most connected to her because that's who I am.
That's real. And so if you could go back to talk to 15-year-old Asia, what were some key things you would tell 15-year-old Asia?
Stop being so hard on yourself. It's literally not that serious. I feel my emotions deeply. So I will ruminate on the tiniest thing, whether that's my hairstyle today, whether that's random stuff. And I'm saying my hairstyle today because I'm over it. I don't have my hair stuff today. But just those little things. She needed to be a little bit kinder to herself. She needed to spare some of the kindness that she has for others and give it to her. She's very willing to love on other people and not love on herself. So I wish that I could go back and give her a hug because she needed it desperately, really bad.
That's real.
Yeah, I like that. So obviously, with the community that you're building, right? The things that you're into now, like, the life that you've been blessed to experience. What is, I guess one thing, like a sentence that you would want people to really understand about who you are?
Ooh, that's a hard one. A sentence that I really want people to understand about me. Maybe that I am willing to give people the love that they deserve at all times, no matter their relationship with me, no matter what they've done to me. It doesn't matter because I have a big heart and I'm extremely loving. And I want everybody to know that even when they don't feel it, they're just worthy of love, and that if they need somebody to come to, it's me.
I like that.
That's real.
That. I like that. And the last question we always have, right? What's one bit of advice you can hand over to somebody when it comes to tapping into their inner child?
Just do it. Do the things that you're scared of. Do the things that you don't want to do. Tackle the things that maybe you haven't dealt with ever. And just do it, because if you don't, the longer you put it off, the more it's going to grow, and the more the resentment and hatred and hurt is just going to fester inside of you. So just go ahead and deal with it. You have to. You have to work through it. It's going to come out some way.
Yeah.
That's a bar. That's a bar.
Nike.
But no, like I said in the beginning, Asia, it's really cool to have you on the show. And, you know, again, it's rare these days to where, you know somebody for a decade plus, from when you were younger in your teenage years to now we're, you know, in our mid-20s, right? And so it's just really cool to see, you know, you grow as a person and kind of see like the different phases of your life and as you evolve. So, you know, definitely appreciate you taking the time to come chop it up with me and OD today. So yeah, just big props to you, and I appreciate you.
No, props to y'all. I appreciate both of y'all. But thank you.
Of course. All right, so that's gonna wrap it up on this episode of the InnerChild Podcast. Make sure you tune in to all platforms. We're here for you on Instagram and TikTok. We also available on Spotify and YouTube. So go ahead, subscribe, like, follow, share, show some love. Let's give Asia some time. You know what I'm saying? Watch her story, watch this episode, share it with your friends. It was definitely a great one. So thank you for coming. All right. We're available to y'all once again at official InnerChild. I'm OD, it's JB. We got Miss Asia on the show. Never forget to embrace your inner child. Peace.